Sit silently. Close your eyes for a moment and just feel your own being. Feel the hum of life that is vibrating within you right now. You have been living under a great misunderstanding. For centuries, for millennia, you have been told a lie so deep, so pervasive that you have forgotten it is a lie. You have started thinking it is the truth. You have been told that you are divided. You have been told that one part of you is good, holy, acceptable, and another part of you, the part that desires, the part that feels passion, the part that longs for physical connection, is bad, dirty, sinful. You think love is pure and lust is dirty. This is the teaching you have received from your priests, your politicians, your teachers, your parents. They have all conspired to create a split within you. But I say to you, love without lust is dead, and lust without love is blind. Please listen to me very carefully. This is not just a talk. This is a surgery. I am here to cut away the cancer of guilt that has been planted in your soul. Only when the two meet, the raw energy of the earth and the refined fragrance of the sky, only when lust and love meet does the human being become whole. That meeting is meditation. That meeting is God. In this communion we are going to have today, I want to help you see that lust is not something to be fought. It is not a monster hiding in the basement of your unconscious. It is something to be understood. You will discover that desire is not your prison. It is simply energy, and energy is neutral. If you are listening to this and you feel a stirring in your heart, if you feel that you have been carrying the heavy burden of shame for too long, I want you to signal your readiness to drop that burden. Click the like button on this video, not for the algorithm, but for yourself. Make it a gesture, a physical action that says, I am ready to accept my own nature. When you click that button, you are saying yes to existence. Misunderstanding is the only problem. The same energy that becomes obsession can also become compassion. It depends on you. It depends on your art of transformation. When you stop condemning it, lust becomes the path, not the problem. I am not here to teach you how to control yourself. Control is ugly. Control is violent. Who is controlling whom? One part of you controls the other part. It is a civil war inside your own body. I am not teaching you control. I am showing you how to see yourself. For centuries, man has been torn apart by his own energy. Religion told him to suppress it. Don't look at a woman, they said. Don't feel pleasure, they said. Punish the body. Society told him to hide it. Be polite. Be civilized. Don't show your animal nature. And psychology tried to fix it, but all have failed. Look at the world. Is man happy? Is man peaceful? No, he is more neurotic than ever. Why have they failed? Because the problem was never lust. The problem was never the desire itself. It was ignorance, it was unawareness. The more you fight it, the more powerful it becomes. Have you not experienced this? Try not to think of a pink elephant. What happens? The mind is immediately filled with pink elephants. Try not to feel desire. Suddenly, your whole being is trembling with desire. The more you watch it, however, the more peaceful it becomes. I want you to experience this truth not as an idea. Ideas are cheap, ideas are borrowed, but as a revelation in your own being. When you understand lust as sacred, shame disappears. And in that disappearance, in that beautiful absence of guilt, love is born. If you are new here, if you have just stumbled upon this oasis, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Join our caravan. We are traveling from darkness to light, from unconsciousness to consciousness. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss a single step of this journey. In this journey, I will take you into the heart of this misunderstood energy. We will look at what lust really is, why it has been called evil, and how it can be transformed into higher love. You will see that the same fire that creates craving can also create creativity. The same fire that burns down a house can cook your food. It depends on the user. It depends on your awareness. The same force that brings you to another body can bring you to your own soul. I will show you why suppression never leads to freedom, and how awareness alone changes everything. And by the end, perhaps you will see that the energy you once called lust was always your doorway to the divine. For thousands of years, humanity has lived under a shadow, the shadow of guilt. You have been told to be ashamed of the very energy that gives you life. Think about the absurdity of this. You were born out of sex. Your parents came together in a moment of passion, hopefully, or at least a moment of biological urge. Life exists because of this energy. Every tree, every bird, every animal, and you. And yet, the religions have told you to condemn the very source of your existence. I call that the greatest misunderstanding. I call that the greatest crime against humanity. You have been taught that lust is wrong, that it makes you impure, that it distances you from God. They say, if you want to reach God, you must leave the body, you must leave desire. But I tell you, nothing could be further from the truth. Lust is not against spirituality, it is the seed of it. Without the seed, where will the flower come from? If you destroy the seed because it looks ugly, because it is hard, because it is filled with dirt, if you throw away the seed, you will never smell the fragrance of the flower. Lust is the seed, spirituality is the flower. Without lust, there would be no love, no poetry, no longing, no search for truth itself. Here is something most people completely miss. Lust and spirituality are not enemies. They are two ends of the same spectrum. If you understand this, your life will change in this very moment. The raw energy that moves through your body when you desire is the same energy that moves through a mystic when he prays. It is not different electricity. It is the same current. The difference is only of voltage, of direction, and most importantly, of awareness. When you're unconscious, the energy flows downwards and outwards. It becomes lust. When you are awake, when you are meditative, the same energy turns inwards and upwards. It becomes love. And then finally, when it reaches the highest peak, the Sahusrara, it becomes prayer. You see, society needed control, and the easiest way to control a human being is to make him afraid of himself. If I can make you feel guilty about your own body, I have enslaved you. I don't need chains. I don't need a prison cell. Your guilt is the prison. Your shame is the chain. So they told you your desire is dirty. They called it sin. They invented the concept of original sin. What a sickly idea, that a child is born sinful, a fresh life coming directly from the cosmos, and you call it a sinner. They told you to hide it, to repress it, to confess it, and once you believed that, they had you, because a man divided within himself is weak. A man fighting his own biology is exhausted. He has no energy left to rebel. He has no energy left to question the authority. Once you make a man ashamed of his own body, he can never rebel. He becomes obedient not out of love but out of fear. He goes to the temple, he goes to the church, not to celebrate God, but to ask for forgiveness, for a crime he never committed. Religion took the most natural part of you, your life energy, and turned it into a problem to be solved. And once you believed there was something wrong with you, they sold you the cure. Look at the marketplace of religion. First, they create the disease. You are a sinner. Then they sell the medicine. Come to us, give us donations, follow our rituals, and we will save you. You see the trick? They created the wound and then offered the medicine. And humanity has lived in this disease for centuries, the disease of condemning what is beautiful. This is why I ask you to support our work here. We are trying to undo centuries of damage. If this message is healing your wound, consider supporting us through the super thanks button below this video. Your contribution helps us keep this light burning in a world that is addicted to darkness. It is an energy exchange. You receive truth, you give support. It keeps the flow alive. Lust is not your enemy. Repression is. When you repress, you don't destroy lust. You are not that powerful. You cannot destroy energy. Physics says energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. When you push it underground, it becomes perverted. It becomes twisted, ugly. When you deny your nature, it doesn't disappear. It hides, it waits, it moves into the darker corners of your mind. It leaks into your dreams. Have you noticed? The more you fast, the more you dream of feasts. The more you try to be celibate without understanding, the more your dreams are filled with sexuality. It leaks into your relationships. You become angry, irritable, possessive. That possession is nothing but transformed lust. It leaks into your religion itself. That's why you see so much hypocrisy in the world. Priests preaching purity, then drowning in secret desires. They fought a battle that cannot be won. Because you cannot destroy life itself. You can only distort it. Let me tell you something. Lust is just life asking to be lived. It's the song of the body, the pulse of the earth within you. When you call it sin, you're calling God himself dirty because this energy comes from him. Every flower that blooms, what is it doing? It is attracting the bee. It is a sexual act. The whole of nature is reproducing, expanding, dancing. Every bird that sings is calling for a mate. Every child born is a victory of this energy. All are expressions of the same sacred force. If existence trusts this energy enough to create universes with it, who are you to call it unholy? Are you wiser than existence? Are you wiser than the source that created you? Look at the story of Adam and Eve. They say they were thrown out of the garden because they ate the fruit of knowledge. But what was that fruit? It was the awakening of awareness. It was the first spark of desire, the first realization of I am. And yet religion told you this was the fall of man. But I tell you it was the beginning of humanity. Before that, Adam and Eve were just animals, unconscious, blissful, yes, but not aware of their bliss. To know bliss, you must lose it first. To come home, you must first leave home. Without that step, there would be no love, no art, no search for truth. It wasn't the fall, it was the rise. They wanted you to believe that desire was your curse. But in truth, desire is the beginning of your journey home. The fire that burns inside you is not there to destroy you, it's there to illuminate your path. Now, you might ask, Osho, if I don't repress, if I don't control, won't I become an animal? Won't I just run wild? This is the fear society has planted in you. They say, if you don't hold the dog on a leash, it will bite everyone. But I say, the dog is biting everyone precisely because it has been on a leash for too long. It is mad with confinement. The same flame that can burn the house can also cook your food. It depends on how you use it, so don't fear the fire. Learn to hold it consciously. That soul awareness is learning to hold the flame of life without letting it burn you. When you begin to see lust not as sin but as energy, something shifts inside you. The guilt starts to melt, the fear begins to fade. And for the first time you feel alive, not divided, not ashamed, but whole. That's the first step toward transformation, because how can you change something you hate? Listen to this carefully. You cannot transform what you hate. Hate binds you to the object of your hatred. If you hate your sexuality, you will remain obsessed with it. You will think about it 24 hours a day. Only love transforms. Hatred binds, love liberates. So don't try to escape your lust. Don't try to conquer it. You are not a warrior on a battlefield. You are a gardener. Just understand it. Sit silently. Watch it rise. This is the technique I give to you. When desire comes, and it will come, it is natural like the tide in the ocean. When it comes, don't say, this is bad. Don't say, I must stop this. No, just sit. Close your eyes. Watch the energy rising in your body. Where is it? Is it in the stomach? Is it in the heart? Is it in the genitals? Just watch. Watch it rise. Watch it fall. Watch the pulse of your being as if you were watching a river flow. Don't judge. Don't interfere. Simply be aware. And you'll see slowly, slowly, a miracle happens. That same energy begins to change its direction. Because you are not fighting it, you are not wasting it. Because you are watching it, you become separate from it. You realize, I am the watcher and this desire is the object. In that distance, transformation happens. What was once lust begins to become love. What was once desire begins to become delight. And when that happens, you'll understand what I mean when I say lust is sacred. It was never your enemy. It was your first teacher, your first invitation to awaken. We have much to cover on this path. We have to look at the futility of the monk who starves himself. We have to look at how to actually perform this alchemy in your daily life. But first, if you wish to go deeper into these techniques, into the science of the inner world, we have compiled many of these teachings into books. You can find links to our ebooks in the description or by clicking the Store tab. Reading is a way to meditate with the words, to let them sink into your subconscious. It is a small investment for a lifetime of freedom. Now let us proceed. When you begin to see lust as energy, not sin, a door opens. But that energy is still raw, untamed, wild. The question now is, what do you do with it? Do you keep fighting it? Do you indulge it endlessly? Or do you watch it and let it transform itself? That's where we go next. What I am about to share might seem strange, even dangerous at first, because the mind has been trained to believe that to be spiritual means to be without desire. But life itself is desire. The tree reaching toward the sun, what is that? It is desire. The river flowing toward the ocean, what is that? It is longing. The seed bursting open to become the flower. Without desire, nothing would move. Nothing would grow. Nothing would evolve. If you kill desire, you kill life. And the priests have been the murderers of life. They have created a humanity that is half dead. So when I speak of transcending desire, I don't mean destroying it. I mean understanding it, watching it, seeing through it so deeply that it no longer controls you. Lust is dangerous only when it is unconscious, when it rules you from the shadows. The moment you bring the light of awareness to it, transformation begins. You've been told to fight your desires, to suppress them, to close your eyes when they arise. as if the very act of looking would make you impure. But in truth, the only impurity is unconsciousness. When you suppress something, you push it into the dark. But it doesn't die there. It grows, it festers, it becomes part of your unconscious mind. And from there, it starts guiding your life in secret ways. It will appear in your dreams, in your relationships, in your frustrations. You'll pretend to be holy, but a volcano will be burning beneath your surface. And when that volcano erupts, you call it sin again, and the cycle continues. Suppression is the wheel of suffering, and millions are trapped on it because they never dare to look directly into their own fire. But you, my friend, you are daring to look. By being here, by listening to this, you are stepping off the wheel. If you are ready to stop the suppression and start the transformation, I invite you to click the join button and become a member of this channel. Become part of a community that values truth over dogma. Your membership supports the spread of these rebellious ideas. It is a way to say, I stand with the truth. Let me tell you, the way is not suppression, it is observation. When you observe something without judgment, it starts to change its color, its fragrance. The same energy that becomes lust when you are unconscious becomes love when you are aware. And when love deepens, it becomes prayer. It is the same river, the same current, but the quality of its flow changes. When the water is turbulent, it appears muddy. When it becomes still, it reflects the sky. Your awareness is that stillness. It doesn't destroy the river. It allows you to see its depth, its beauty. Desire is not your enemy. It is your mirror. Every longing you feel is a message from your own soul. It's telling you, look, something within you is missing. Something within you has been forgotten. When you chase a person, a possession, a goal, you are really chasing a fragment of your own being that you've lost touch with. And the more you chase, the further you move away from yourself. Because the moment you run after anything, you leave the center. You become the hunter and forget the whole. It's like running toward your own reflection in a lake. The more you move, the more ripples you create, and the reflection becomes blurry, unreachable. But if you stop, if you simply sit in silence, the water becomes clear again and your face appears. Every longing, every lustful thought is a call to return to yourself, its existence reminding you of your incompleteness. And when you meet that incompleteness with awareness, it turns into wholeness. But if you meet it with guilt or fear, it turns into obsession. So don't be afraid of your desires. Let them arise. Let them dance before you. Just don't get lost in their movement. Sit silently as if watching clouds pass across the sky. Some clouds are dark, some bright, but the sky remains untouched. That sky is you. The watcher, the awareness. Consider the story of the monk who tried to escape lust by fasting. He thought that if he denied the body, the mind would become pure. For years he starved himself, punished himself, lived alone in the mountains. But all that happened was that his hunger became lust, and his lust became hunger. When he dreamed of food, of feasts, of tastes. His mind was obsessed with food, and when he awoke, he felt shame again. One form of desire simply changed its costume. This is what happens when you fight. Your nature, your energy doesn't vanish. It shifts its mask. You may escape one desire, but another will take its place until awareness enters. The dance continues in different disguises. Understand this simple law. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed. You cannot destroy lust because you did not create it. It is part of the cosmic current flowing through all of existence. but you can raise it, you can refine it, you can purify it by becoming aware of it. That's what meditation is. Not a war against desire, but a deep friendship with it. Watching transforms, because watching is the highest intelligence. When you watch your desire without resistance, you are no longer the prisoner of energy, you become the master of it. It begins to flow upward toward your heart and then to your head, and finally it blossoms into awareness itself. It's like the sunlight passing through a prism. The same light becomes many colors, but it's still one light. Lust, love, compassion, creativity, all are different shades of the same source. When the light passes through your mind, it becomes lust. When it passes through your heart, it becomes love. And when it passes through your consciousness, it becomes prayer. Remember, there is nothing wrong with any shade of the light. The problem begins only when you remain unaware, trapped in one color and calling it the whole rainbow. So don't ask me how to eliminate lust. Ask me how to become more conscious of it. Don't try to become pure. Try to become whole. Watch the play of energy inside you without calling it good or bad. It's just life flowing. And slowly, slowly, as your watching deepens, a miracle happens. What was once lust becomes love, and what was once desire becomes delight. Then lust is no longer lust. It's light moving freely, joyfully. You see, lust doesn't need to be destroyed, only seen. That seeing is enough. When the light enters, the darkness disappears on its own. But to see, you must stop running. You must sit down within yourself and face the fire you've been taught to fear. And when you can sit before it, naked and unafraid, you'll see it is not your enemy at all. It's your own reflection, shimmering, alive, divine. And once you've seen that, you'll understand that awareness is not a technique, not a practice. It's a remembering of who you are beyond your desires, beyond your thoughts, beyond the body and the mind. You'll realize that nothing was ever wrong with you. You were simply asleep to your own light. This is only the beginning of the understanding. We have only just scratched the surface of the body's wisdom and the trap of the mind. Lust does not have to be destroyed, only seen, but to see it you must stop running from it. And that requires deep acceptance of your own body and being. Here is something most people have never even stopped to consider. The body that you have been told to distrust, to discipline, to deny, is not your prison. It is your temple. You are not a ghost accidentally trapped in flesh. You are life expressing itself through flesh, the invisible made visible, the formless given form. The body is your first home, your first teacher, your first scripture. Before you ever read a Bible, before you ever read a Gita, you were reading the scripture of your own senses. You knew hunger, you knew warmth, you knew the touch of a mother. That was your first religion, the religion of feeling. Yet you have been raised to look at it with suspicion. Every religion has tried to convince you that the body is against the soul, that to be spiritual you must reject it, torture it, transcend it. But let me ask you, how can you transcend something you have never loved? How can you go beyond something you have never even understood? To be against the body is to be against existence itself, because existence speaks to you through this very form. The sun touches your skin. That is existence communicating with you. The water quenches your thirst. That is a communion. To reject the body is to hang up the phone while God is calling. For centuries, man has been at war with his own body. The war began when the priests entered. They knew that the easiest way to enslave a man is to make him guilty of being alive. If you are happy with your body, if you are dancing, if you are celebrating, you don't need a priest, you don't need a mediator. You are directly connected to the source. The priest becomes unemployed. So to keep their shops open, they had to invent a disease. They told you that your body's pleasures are dangerous, that its instincts are animal, that your hunger, your touch, your sexuality are sins. They painted the body as the enemy of the spirit. And once you believed them, you became divided. This is the schizophrenia of humanity. One part of you began pretending to be holy, while another part continued to long, to ache, to desire. You cannot stop the body from desiring food. You cannot stop the body from desiring warmth. You cannot stop the biological urge for reproduction. It is built into your cells. So what happened? You started living a double life. Between these two parts, your life has been torn apart. Look around. Everyone is divided. Everyone is carrying this conflict between body and soul. They smile in public, but they tremble inside. They pray in the temples, but they are ashamed of their very nature. They talk of God, but they live in self-hatred. This self-hatred is the root of all your misery. If you hate the house you live in, how can you be at peace? If you hate the vehicle you are traveling in, how can you enjoy the journey? I tell you, the body is not your obstacle, it is your path. Every meditation, every awareness begins from the body, not apart from it. When you breathe consciously, what are you doing? That's the body meditating. When you walk slowly, feeling each step touch the earth, feeling the gravity, feeling the movement of the muscles, that's the body praying. When you eat with gratitude, tasting each flavor as if it were a gift from the cosmos, that's the body celebrating. The divine is not somewhere in the clouds. It is not sitting on a golden throne in the sky waiting to judge you. It is vibrating in your heartbeat. It is pulsing through your veins. It is moving with every breath you take. To be against the body is to miss the greatest miracle that has ever happened, that life exists in you, through you, as you. Let me tell you a small story to illustrate this innocence we have lost. Once I was watching a child dance naked in the rain. The rain was falling hard, cold, playful, and that child was laughing like the whole sky was laughing through him. There was no shame. He was not aware that he was naked. He was not aware that he was dancing. He was simply movement. He was simply joy. No thought, no separation, just life in its purest form moving. I thought, this is how existence intended us to be. This is the state of Adam before the priests entered the garden. But soon the mother ran out. She was panicked. She covered him with a towel, saying, "Don't do that. You'll catch a cold. People will see you. Come inside immediately." And in that one moment, the child's dance was broken. The connection was severed. Something died. Shame was born. He suddenly became aware that he was naked, and that nakedness was something to be hidden. He suddenly became aware that the rain was not a friend, but something that gives you a cold. He became aware of people. That's how it begins. Slowly, slowly, society enters and cuts the connection between the body and the soul. It teaches you to control instead of commune, to fear instead of feel, to think instead of be. And then you grow up, the child is gone, buried under layers of conditioning. And that same separation becomes your suffering. You feel lonely, even in a crowd. You feel disconnected, even when you are making love. Why? Because you are not there. You are in your head, worrying, judging, performing. You sit in temples, in churches, in mosques, trying to find God. But the God you seek was already present in the rain you ran away from. The God you seek was in the dance. You stopped. You pray to heaven, but you forget the earth beneath your feet. You fast, you punish, you resist, thinking this is discipline. You think that if you torture yourself enough, God will be pleased. What kind of God is this? A sadist? A God who enjoys your pain is not a God. He is a monster created by sick minds. True discipline is not control. The word discipline comes from the same root as disciple. It means to learn. It means to be sensitive, to learn from your own body, to live fully in your body yet not be possessed by it, to enjoy your senses yet not drown in them, to touch deeply yet not cling. That is the middle path. That is the razor's edge. The path of the Buddha, the path of understanding, is not about extremes. The glutton is caught in the body. The ascetic is caught in fighting the body. Both are obsessed. One eats too much, one eats too little. Both are thinking about food all the time. The man who chases women and the monk who runs away from women, both are thinking about women. They are two sides of the same coin. I want you to drop the coin. I want you to step out of this game entirely. Imagine a man fighting his own shadow. That's what humanity has been doing for centuries. He punches the shadow, he kicks the shadow, he tries to run away from the shadow, but the more he struggles, the darker the shadow becomes, and he gets exhausted. He wastes his whole life fighting something that doesn't really exist as an enemy. It is just an absence of light. You can't escape your body any more than you can escape your own shadow. You can only understand it, accept it, embrace it. The moment you turn toward it with love, the conflict disappears. Then the same energy that was lustful becomes loving. The same energy that was tense becomes peaceful. This brings us to a practical realization. If you are finding that these words are resonating with a deep truth inside you, if you feel that you are ready to stop fighting your shadow, consider becoming a member of our community. Click the join button below. It is not just a button, it is a commitment to your own growth. By joining, you help us bring this message of acceptance to a world that is drowning in judgment. When you love your body, you heal your soul. And what does it mean to love your body? It does not mean narcissism. It does not mean standing in front of the mirror and saying, I am so beautiful. That is ego. That is insecurity. To love the body means to stop condemning it. It means to listen to it. It has a language of its own. When it is tired, listen. Don't pump it with coffee and force it to work. That is violence. When it is hungry, feed it, but feed it with awareness, not just stuffing it mechanically. When it wants to move, let it move. It means to move with awareness. When you touch someone, feel the touch completely. Don't just do it as a habit. Feel the texture of the skin, the warmth, the energy transfer. Feel as if God is touching God, because that is exactly what is happening. God is disguised as you, touching God disguised as the other. When you rest, rest totally. Drop all tension, sink into the earth. When you eat, eat with reverence. The food you eat is life. It has come from the sun, the rain, the soil. It is sacrificing itself to become your blood, your bones, your brain. Have some gratitude. Don't make your body a battlefield. Make it a celebration. When the body is loved, it reveals its secrets. It becomes light, fluid, translucent. You begin to feel energy flowing in new ways. You discover that within this body is a hidden dance, a rhythm, a song that you've never allowed to play. That song is the song of the divine. The body is divine, not because it is perfect, it is frail, it will die one day, but because it exists. It is a miracle of engineering, a miracle of consciousness. The grass is divine, the ocean is divine, the stars are divine. Why not this body? Why is this the only exception in the universe? What foolishness to bow before a stone idol in a temple, to put flowers at its feet, and yet feel disgust toward your own skin. The idol is dead matter. You are living spirit. The true temple is you. The only place where prayer can happen is within your living being. So stop waging war against your own form. Stop trying to purify what is already pure. Purity doesn't mean denying the earth. It doesn't mean becoming like a plastic saint. Purity means being so aware of the earth that even the mud becomes gold. It is an alchemical process. The lotus blooms because of the mud, not in spite of it. If you hate the mud, you destroy the lotus. The more you love your body, the more you begin to notice that it's not separate from your consciousness, it's an extension of it. Consciousness is the invisible body. The body is visible consciousness. They are not two. They are like the water and the ice, different forms, same substance. When you understand this, you move in harmony. Then even simple acts become sacred. Walking becomes a meditation. Breathing becomes a constant remembrance of the source. Looking at a flower becomes a dialogue with the divine. When you begin to live this way, lust turns from compulsion into communion. Notice the difference. Compulsion is when you are dragged by the energy. You are a slave. You have to do it. It is an itch that must be scratched. Communion is when you choose to share your energy out of fullness. You no longer seek someone to fill your emptiness. Most love affairs are just two empty people trying to suck life out of each other. And then they get disappointed when the other person remains empty. I thought you would make me whole, they say. And the other says, but I thought you would make me whole. And they blame each other. But when you are at home in your body, when you are flowing with your own energy, you meet others out of fullness. You overflow. Lust becomes love, and love becomes meditation. But even love must grow. We cannot stop at love. Love is beautiful, but it is not the ultimate. If love remains attached, if love remains possessive, it still carries the shadow of lust. If you say, I love you, therefore you must do what I say, that is not love. That is politics. That is power. If you say, I love you, therefore you cannot look at anyone else, that is fear. That is imprisonment. Love must evolve into freedom. It must evolve into giving without expecting, into being without needing. When love becomes vast like the sky, with no desire to own, no demand to receive, it becomes prayer. This is the highest potential of your sexual energy. So remember this. The journey toward God does not begin by escaping the body. It begins by entering it fully. The body is not the door that closes you off. It's the doorway through which existence enters. When you honor it, it responds. When you listen, it sings. When you love, it opens. And through that opening, light enters. This understanding is available to everyone, but it requires a shift in perspective. It requires deprogramming yourself from years of lies. This is why we have made our complete collection of insights available in our ebooks. If you want to understand the deeper mechanics of energy transformation, check the Store tab on our channel page. These books are tools for your own surgery to remove the lies you have swallowed. Now let us look deeper into the nature of this evolution. Lust is the seed, love is the flower, and prayer is the fragrance. They are not separate things. They are stages of the same unfolding. Like a tree that begins as a seed in the dark soil, the seed must be in the dark. Lust is dark. It is hidden in the biology. It breaks open, grows toward the sun. That is love, reaching out. And finally, it offers its fragrance to the wind. That is prayer. The fragrance belongs to no one. It is just there for anyone who passes by. You cannot have the flower without the seed. If you crush the seed of lust, you destroy the possibility of the flower of love. And you cannot have the fragrance without the flower. So when I say that lust is sacred, I mean that it is the beginning of something vast and holy, something that, if understood, can take you to the ultimate. But humanity has stopped at the seed. This is the tragedy. Either they reject the seed, bury it deep in the basement, and never let it sprout. These are your monks, your nuns, your so-called moral people. They are dry, they are dead, they are holding on to a dead seed, or they cling to the seed, worship it, and never let it grow. These are your playboys, your hedonists, people obsessed with pornography and physical gratification. They are also stuck. They are rotting with the seed. In both ways, they remain incomplete. The monk and the playboy are not different. They are both obsessed with the seed. One hates it, one loves it, but neither allows it to become a tree. The true beauty of this energy lies in its transformation, not in denial, not in indulgence, but in flowering. Look deeply into lust, and you will find it always reaching outward. It seeks another. It wants to possess, to merge, to dissolve. Why? Why this tremendous urge to dissolve into another body? Have you asked yourself? That longing to dissolve is not wrong. It's simply misdirected. The desire to unite with another is the unconscious echo of your deeper desire to unite with existence itself. You are homesick, you feel small, you feel separate, and the ego is a heavy burden. In the moment of sexual climax, for a split second, the ego disappears. Time stops. Thinking stops. For a moment, you are not you. You are part of a pure energy flow. That is why sex is so attractive, not because of the friction, not because of the biology, but because of that glimpse of no mind. It is a biological window into the divine, but the window is very small and it closes very quickly, and afterwards you feel even more separate, even more lonely. You think you want another person, but what you really want is to lose the burden of separation. You want to disappear. That's why even in moments of intense physical union, a strange sadness lingers. Have you noticed? After the act, there is often a melancholy. The Romans knew this. They said, post coitum omne animal triste est. After coitus, every animal is sad. Why? Because the body may have touched, but the souls have not met. You knocked on the door. For a moment it opened. You saw the light, and then slam. It closed again, and you are back in the cold. And no matter how many times you repeat the act, the hunger returns. Lust alone can never satisfy because it's searching in the wrong direction. It's like drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Only love can quench that thirst. Because love is no longer about taking. Lust says, I want you for my pleasure. Love says, I want your happiness for my pleasure. It's about giving, about sharing, about melting into something greater than yourself. Love begins where lust ends, but it is born out of the same energy. The difference is awareness. In lust, you use the other. The other is a gadget to you, a means to an end, and nobody wants to be used. That is why there is so much conflict in relationships. Both are trying to use the other, and both are resisting being used. It is a political struggle. In love, you celebrate the other. In lust, the other is an object. In love, the other becomes a mirror. Through that mirror, you begin to see yourself, your tenderness, your longing, your capacity for devotion. When love appears, possession disappears. You cannot possess a person. You can possess a house, you can possess a car, but you cannot possess a living being. To try to possess is to kill the life in them. Love knows that freedom is its very breath. If you cage the bird, it may still sing, but it will not be the same song. The song of captivity is never the song of freedom. The flower opens because it cannot do otherwise. It does not open for you. It opens because opening is its joy. When you are in love, you open, you bloom, and in that blooming you feel for the first time the joy of existence. But even love can become bondage if it remains unawakened. Love has its own pitfalls, its own illusions. Many call it love, but they mean dependency. They mean, I cannot live without you. That is not love. That is parasitism. That is spiritual weakness. They mean fear of loneliness. They use the other as a blanket to cover their coldness. They mean security. Such love is still shadowed by lust because it depends on the other. It is bargaining. I will scratch your back if you scratch mine. It is a business deal. True love is not a relationship. It is a state of being. It is not that you love someone. It is that you are love. The moment you realize this, love stops being a need and becomes a radiance. Then whoever comes near you feels your warmth, your light, your presence. Not because you are trying to give anything, but because you can't help but overflow. The sun does not try to give light. It is its nature. The flower does not try to give fragrance. It is its nature. If you are enjoying this flow, if you feel this message is unburdening you, you can offer a super thanks. It is a way of saying yes to the message, a way of participating in this energy field we are creating together. Think of a river beginning in the mountains. It is wild, rushing, full of force. That's lust. Raw energy, urgent, seeking direction. It crashes against rocks, it makes waterfalls, it is noisy. As it flows, it learns, it bends around rocks, it slows, it deepens, it begins to reflect the sky. That's love, the same water, but now calm enough to hold the moon in its heart. The turbulence is gone, the depth has arrived, and when that river reaches the ocean, it disappears. It becomes one with the infinite. That disappearance, that surrender, is prayer. You see, the river has not lost itself. It has found its ultimate destiny. It has become the ocean. Lust must flow to become love, and love must dissolve to become prayer. When you are stuck at any stage, you suffer. If the river stops in the mountains, it becomes a stagnant pool. It rots. If you stop at lust, you rot. If you stop at attachment in love, you rot. You must keep flowing. Flow is life. Stagnation is death. There is a story I love of a man who searched his whole life for the perfect lover. He traveled the world. He went from one person to another, believing that somewhere, someone would complete him. He was looking for the missing piece of the puzzle outside, but he never found peace. Every relationship started with hope and ended in despair. One day, exhausted, old, wrinkled, he sat beneath a tree and cried. He shouted to the heavens, "Why can't I find love? I have looked everywhere." And a voice within, not from the clouds, but from his own depth, said, "Because you have never looked where love begins. You have been knocking on other people's doors. You never knocked on your own door." He closed his eyes, and for the first time in 70 years, he turned inward. He looked at his own desire. He looked at his own loneliness. He stopped running, and in that moment of stopping, he realized that all along, the beloved he sought was his own being. The joy he was looking for in a woman, in a man, in the world, was bubbling up from his own center. That day his search ended and love began, not as a relationship but as a realization. When love becomes prayer, there is no longer I and you. The longing that once looked outward now turns inward and upward. It becomes gratitude, it becomes silence, it becomes grace. You no longer seek to touch another body or possess another heart. You seek to touch existence itself. You look at a flower and it's enough. You don't need to pick it, you don't need to own it. Just seeing it is a communion. You watch a sunset and tears come to your eyes. Why? Because the beauty is overwhelming. In that moment, lust has been transfigured into something utterly luminous. It has become devotion. You begin to feel grateful even for your desires. Listen to this. You feel grateful for your lust. Why? Because it was the fuel, because it was the ladder that brought you here. If you didn't have the energy, you couldn't have made the journey. Without lust, you would never have learned to love. You would have been like a stone, pure perhaps, but dead. Without love, you would never have found prayer. So do not condemn the lower rungs of the ladder. You need them to reach the roof. Once you are on the roof, you can leave the ladder, but don't spit on it. Be grateful to it. And prayer doesn't mean words. It doesn't mean reciting things you memorized as a child. It doesn't mean rituals or repetition. That is parroting. True prayer is wordless. It is a feeling. It is when your heart beats in rhythm with the universe. It is a silent thank you that vibrates in your cells. When you breathe in and feel as if existence itself is breathing with you. Prayer is not asking for something. Give me this, give me that, give me a bigger house, give me a better wife. That is begging, that is insulting existence. Existence has already given you everything. It has given you life. What more do you want? Prayer is thanking for everything. It's the fragrance that arises when love reaches its peak, invisible, free, and everywhere. You can't touch it, but it touches you. You can't see it, but it fills your life with light. So when I say lust is sacred, I mean that it contains within it the blueprint of your awakening. It is the raw material. You are the sculptor. Don't throw away the stone because it is rough. Carve it, polish it, make it into a masterpiece. Don't reject it. Don't indulge it blindly. Understand it. Let it lead you toward love. And when love blossoms, don't cling to it either. Let it turn into prayer. Because only in prayer does energy find its completion. Only in prayer do you find peace. And in that peace, everything is divine. Even desire, even longing, even lust. And when prayer happens, even lust becomes divine. Nothing is wrong anymore. Only unconsciousness is wrong. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when the mind can no longer divide the world into right and wrong, pure and impure, sacred and profane. The duality dissolves. That division is the root of misery. From it grows guilt, fear, repression, and all the ugliness that has haunted humanity. The moment you say this is good, you've already condemned its opposite as evil. And in doing so, you've cut existence in half. But existence is one. It is indivisible, whole, vast, overflowing with all shades, all contrasts, all paradoxes. The flower and the thorn grow from the same branch. They drink the same water. The same sap runs through both. Day and night dance around each other endlessly. You cannot have day without night. You cannot have life without death. They are two sides of the same mystery. And you are not meant to choose one and reject the others. You are meant to understand that they are parts of the same song. Man has been conditioned to believe that only through moral control can he become pure. But morality is a poor substitute for consciousness. Morality is plastic flowers. They look like flowers, they may even deceive you from a distance, but they have no roots, they have no juice, and they have no fragrance. You can wash them, you can dust them, but they will never grow. Consciousness is the real rose. It has roots in the mud, yes, but it grows toward the sun and releases a perfume that is alive. Morality tells you what to do and what not to do, but it never helps you understand why. It treats you like a child, or worse, like a machine. Do this, don't do that. It gives you commandments, rules, discipline, but it never gives you freedom. It teaches obedience, not awareness. A moral man may look righteous from the outside. He follows all the rules. He never steps out of line. But inside he trembles with fear because his virtue depends on suppression. He is sitting on a volcano. He must constantly guard himself, constantly resist temptation, constantly pretend to be someone he is not. And that's not purity, that's performance, that is acting. You are all great actors playing roles you do not believe in. Consciousness has no commandments, it has no boundaries, it has no shame, it simply sees, and in seeing, everything false drops away. The truly spiritual being lives beyond morality, not below it. He doesn't need rules because he lives from awareness. He does not need a map because he has eyes. The blind man needs a map. The blind man needs a stick. Morality is a stick for the blind. When hunger arises, the conscious man eats. When tiredness comes, he rests. When love flowers, he embraces. When death knocks, he bows. There is no conflict, no hesitation, no guilt. That's what it means to live naturally, to live as part of the whole, not apart from it. The Zen monk said it beautifully. When hungry, eat. When tired, sleep. So simple, yet so profound, because simplicity is the fragrance of truth. Complexity is the perfume of the ego. The ego loves to make things difficult. It makes a simple thing like sex into a complex problem of theology, sociology, and psychology. It makes a simple thing like food into a complex neurosis. If you are ready to drop the complexity and return to the simplicity of being, if you want to stop acting and start living, show your support for this message. Subscribe to our channel. It is a digital sangha, a gathering of friends who are tired of the lies. Remember this distinction. Morality is borrowed. Consciousness is your own. Morality is imposed from the outside by your parents, your teachers, your priests. It is a layer of dust on your mirror. Consciousness grows from within. It is the cleaning of the mirror. Morality depends on fear. Fear of punishment, fear of rejection, fear of hell, fear of God. What kind of virtue grows from fear? Only slavery. Consciousness depends on love, love for truth, love for life, love for existence. When you are moral, you live according to others. What will people say is your constant worry. When you are conscious, you live according to yourself. You listen to your own heartbeat. The moral person always looks to the sky, trembling, hoping not to be condemned. The conscious person looks into his own heart, and there he finds the sky itself. That's why I say the awakened man has no ideals. He does not carry a blueprint of how I should be. He simply is, because he has no division. He is total. If anger comes, he watches it. He doesn't say, I should not be angry. He acknowledges anger is passing through. He watches the fire, and because he watches it without judgment, the fire does not burn him. It purifies him. It transforms. If desire arises, he watches it. He doesn't say, I am a sinner. He says, energy is moving. If silence descends, he watches that too. He doesn't label, doesn't interfere. Through that watchfulness, everything transforms. This is the alchemy I am teaching you. Anger becomes compassion. How? When you watch anger, you stop feeding it with your cooperation. You stop acting it out and you stop repressing it. You just hold it in the light of awareness. The energy that was boiling to hurt someone suddenly changes quality. It becomes a tremendous warmth, a strength, a compassion for the suffering of others. Lust becomes love. When you watch the raw sexual energy without condemning it, it rises, it loses its coarseness, it becomes refined, it becomes a dance of energies. Fear becomes awareness. Fear is just energy trembling. When you watch it, the trembling stops and the energy becomes a sharp, clear presence. Nothing is denied, and yet everything becomes sacred. Because sacredness is not in the act, it's in the awareness behind it. A butcher can be more spiritual than a priest if the butcher is aware and the priest is mechanical. When you understand this, you move beyond the idea of good and evil. You realize that even so-called sin has played its role. Listen to this dangerous truth. Your sins have been as helpful as your virtues, perhaps more so. Because your virtues made you proud, they gave you a spiritual ego. I am a holy man. That is the thickest chain. Your sins made you humble. Your sins made you fall, made you realize your limitations, made you seek a way out. Lust pushed you to love. Love carried you to prayer, and prayer brought you to silence. Without lust, you would have never moved. You would have remained a vegetable. Without anger, you would have never known strength. Without suffering, you would have never sought peace. Everything serves, everything contributes, everything belongs. Existence wastes nothing. It is a perfect ecology. Even the garbage is used to make manure for the roses. Your lust is the manure. Don't throw it away. Use it, transform it. But man has been taught to fight. Fight your anger, fight your lust, fight your ego, fight your instincts. And what happens? You become exhausted. You start hating yourself. You become your own enemy. And when a man fights himself, the war never ends. One hand fights the other hand. Who can win? Nobody. You can only defeat yourself. Stop fighting and start understanding. Don't split yourself into fragments. You are one being. Messy, yes. Chaotic, yes. Beautiful, yes. Human, yes. Divine, yes. You contain all opposites, and that's what makes you whole. The day you accept everything inside you, the saint and the sinner, the shadow and the light, something miraculous happens. You become transparent. The division disappears. The schizophrenia ends. You move freely. You laugh easily. You love deeply. You act spontaneously. You stop trying to be good. And in that very stopping, goodness arises. Not as a discipline, but as a fragrance. It is not something you do, it is something you are. Because real virtue comes not from suppression, but from awareness. There's a strange irony in this world. People who call themselves spiritual often live in constant fear of falling. They are walking a tightrope. One small mistake, one wrong thought, and they think they will fall into hell. While those who have awakened have nowhere to fall from, they are already on the ground, they are grounded in truth. How can you fall when you are not trying to climb the ladder of ego? The awakened man can walk through fire and remain untouched because he knows there is no division between fire and himself. He has become one with existence. He doesn't see God as a judge sitting somewhere in the clouds with a book of accounts. On Tuesday you looked at a woman with desire, minus 10 points. That is a childish God. He sees God as life itself. the pulse of his blood, the wind through the trees, the laughter of a child, the rhythm of his own breath. God is the energy of the whole. So throw away the false labels. There is nothing profane in existence, only misunderstanding makes it so. The flower and the mud are part of the same creation. The lotus blooms because of the mud. Likewise, your lust, your pain, your confusion, they are not obstacles. They are the soil from which your awareness will blossom. When you understand this, you stop condemning, and when condemnation ends, compassion begins. Then even lust becomes divine, because nothing is outside of the divine. Nothing is wrong anymore. Only unconsciousness is wrong, and once consciousness has dawned, even darkness becomes part of the dance. Then you see there was never good or evil, only different notes in the same eternal music. The lower notes and the higher notes, they all create the symphony. If you cut out the lower notes, the music is destroyed. And when you stop choosing, the whole song becomes beautiful. Once you stop dividing yourself, you begin to live in harmony. Then even lust, anger, or pain become instruments of awakening. This is the tantric insight. Tantra says, do not reject, accept deeply. In the acceptance is the transformation. If you are finding this perspective liberating, if you feel a weight lifting off your shoulders, consider supporting the channel. Click the join button. Your membership allows us to keep broadcasting this dangerous wisdom to a world that desperately needs it. It is a small act with a big ripple. When you reach this point of acceptance, something deep within you begins to settle, as if a long, endless storm is finally dissolving into silence. For the first time, you can breathe without guilt. You can feel without fear. You can exist without needing to justify your existence. You don't need to apologize for being human. And in that simple being, you begin to taste the sacredness of life itself. Lust, which once tormented you, becomes your teacher. It taught you that you are not the body, but the witness of the body. Desire, which once pulled you into darkness, becomes your path toward light. Everything that once divided you now joins hands inside you. You realize that there was never anything wrong with you. There was only misunderstanding. You were fighting against yourself because someone told you that your very nature was unholy, but existence doesn't create anything unholy. The river is not guilty for flowing. The fire is not guilty for burning. The wind is not guilty for blowing. And you are not guilty for feeling. What you call lust is just life wanting to move, wanting to love, wanting to expand, wanting to know itself through you. When you understand lust as sacred, shame disappears like mist under the morning sun. The energy that once burned in secrecy now becomes light. You walk with ease. You speak with innocence. You move like a breeze, not carrying any weight, because guilt is heavy and understanding is weightless. You are no longer divided into body and soul, into good and bad, into God and devil. You are one pulse, one breath, one awareness flowing in rhythm with existence. That's what I mean when I say that to be human is to be divine. You are not separate from creation. You are creation expressing itself in human form. You are the meeting point between earth and sky, between the visible and the invisible. Lust is sacred because it's life's longing to know itself through the experience of you. When you repress it, you live in darkness, but when you understand it, you become light. This understanding is not intellectual, it is experiential. It happens when you stop interpreting, stop controlling, stop labeling, and simply feel. Feel your heartbeat right now. Don't think about it. Feel it. Feel the warmth of your blood. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Each of these is God breathing, moving, and beating within you. You have been searching for divinity in temples, scriptures, and saints, but the only temple you ever needed was your own being. The divine doesn't exist apart from the human, it blooms through it. So when you love, love totally. Don't hold back, don't calculate, don't be a miser with your love. When you desire, desire consciously. Be aware of the fire, let it burn away your ego. When you touch, touch as if the whole universe were meeting itself in that moment. Let each wave of energy be a step toward awareness, not away from it. Don't be afraid to feel deeply. The deeper you feel, the closer you are to the truth. Just remember one thing, remain awake, because once you are awake, nothing can poison you. Awareness is the ultimate purity. It is the philosopher's stone. Whatever it touches turns to gold. Awareness is your prayer. Awareness is your only God. From this understanding, a new kind of morality is born, not the morality of rules, but of reverence. You don't act right because someone told you to. You act right because it feels in tune with the whole. You don't avoid evil because you fear punishment. You simply see that it is unnecessary. It is stupid. It is painful. When you put your hand in the fire, you don't burn yourself because of a commandment, thou shalt not burn thyself. You don't do it because you are aware that fire burns. It is intelligence, not morality. When you are aware, your actions naturally align with truth. Compassion flows without effort. Kindness becomes your fragrance. And even the smallest gesture, a smile, a touch, a breath becomes sacred. Now there is nothing to seek because what you were seeking was never lost. There is nothing to purify because you were never impure. The sinner and the saint, the body and the soul, the lover and the beloved, all dissolve into one endless dance. You stand still, and yet the whole universe moves through you. You are empty and yet full beyond measure. You have become the witness, the watcher, the mirror reflecting all that is, and in that reflection you find peace. So watch your desire, not to control it, not to judge it, but to understand it. Let it pass through you like the wind through the trees, moving, rustling, alive, but leaving no trace. The tree does not try to hold the wind. The tree does not try to stop the wind. It dances with it, and then it settles back into stillness. Be unashamedly alive, for that aliveness is divine. To be alive is to be close to the source, to be totally here in the body, in this breath, in this moment is the only prayer worth offering. If you wish to deepen this prayer, if you wish to read the words that can guide you further into this silence, visit our store. We've curated collections of talks that function not as information, but as transformation. A book can be a master if you know how to read it. My friends, the journey does not end here. We have spoken of the individual, but what of the relationship? What happens when two conscious beings meet? What happens to sex when it is no longer a need but a sharing? We must explore the higher octaves of this energy. We must explore how this energy, when fully sublimated, becomes creativity, how it becomes the painting of a Van Gogh, the music of a Mozart, the silence of a Buddha. Lust is the creative force of the universe. When it moves biologically, it creates children. When it moves spiritually, it creates yourself. You are the creator and you are the creation. Let us go deeper into this mystery. Society has told you that sex is for reproduction. That is the animal function. But for man, sex has a higher potential. It is for recreation. And deeper than that, it is for recreation. It is to create yourself anew. Every time you are in a state of deep love, you are born again. The old ego dies, the past dissolves. But people are afraid of this death. They cling to their personalities. In the moment of orgasm, have you noticed it is like a little death? The French call it la petite mort. For a moment, you don't know who you are. You don't know your name, your bank account, your religion. You just are. That moment is frightening to the ego. The ego wants to stay in control. That is why so many people cannot let go in love. They hold back. They remain spectators. They are doing the act, but they are not in the act. And because they hold back, they miss the glimpse of God. They miss the window opening. And then they say, is that all there is? They get bored. They move to another partner, hoping that a new body will give them the key. But the key is not in the body of the other. The key is in your capacity to let go. To let go means to trust the energy, to trust that even if you die in this moment, it is okay. To die into love is the only way to really live. This is the paradox. You must lose yourself to find yourself. If you are ready to explore this art of dying into life, if you are ready to turn your bedroom into a temple, then stay with me. The path is narrow, but the view is magnificent. We are moving from the valley of lust to the peak of superconsciousness. The energy is the same, but the altitude changes everything. In the valley, the air is thick, humid, heavy. On the peak, the air is thin, crisp, clear. You can see for miles. You can see the stars. Do not stay in the valley forever. The valley is for beginning, not for ending. Many of you ask me, Osho, how can I be meditative in the marketplace? How can I be spiritual when I have a job, a family, desires? You think that to be spiritual you must go to the Himalayas, sit in a cave, and renounce the world. That is the old way. That is the way of the coward. I teach you a new man, Zorba the Buddha. Zorba is the man who enjoys the earth. He drinks, he dances, he loves, he plays the guitar on the beach. He knows the salt of the earth. He is not afraid of matter. Buddha is the man who sits under the Bodhi tree, silent, watchful, aware. He knows the sky. He is not afraid of the void. I want you to be both. Why choose? Why be poor? If you choose Zorba, you remain in the valley. You miss the stars. If you choose Buddha, you sit on the peak, but you miss the flowers. You miss the dance. You miss the juice of life. Be both. Let your roots go deep into the earth like Zorba, and let your branches touch the stars like Buddha. When you are making love, be a Zorba. Enjoy it totally. Be wild. Be passionate. And in that very moment, keep a center of silence within you. Be a Buddha, the watcher in the midst of the dance. This is the challenge. This is the great experiment. To be in the world, but not of it. To be in the fire, but not burnt. If this vision of the new man excites you, if you want to be a Zorba the Buddha, show your appreciation with a super thanks. It helps us build the foundation for this new humanity. We are not just talking about philosophy here. We are talking about a mutation in human consciousness. We are talking about creating a human being who is not schizophrenic, who is not divided against himself, a human being who is at home in the body and at home in the soul. This is the future. If humanity is to survive, this is the only way. The old man, the repressor, the fighter, the moralist is destroying the earth. He is filled with violence because he is filled with unlived life. The new man will be full of love because he has lived totally. He has no repressed energy to turn into violence. He has no poison in his system. So accept your lust. It is the raw material for your Buddhahood. Do not be ashamed of it. Polish it, refine it, let it rise. And as it rises, you will see the landscape of your life changing. You will see that everything you thought was a stumbling block was actually a stepping stone. The stone that blocks the path can become a stepping stone if you climb it. But if you carry it on your head, it will crush you. Society has taught you to carry your sexuality on your head. You are burdened by it. You are obsessed with it precisely because you have not accepted it. Look at your magazines, your movies, your advertisements. Everything is using sex. Why? Because you are starving. If you starve a man of food, he will become obsessed with food. He will dream of bread. He will see loaves of bread floating in the sky. You have been starved of your naturalness, so you have become perverted. A natural man is not obsessed with sex. He enjoys it and he moves on, just as he eats, enjoys the food, and then forgets about it. He does not carry the memory of breakfast all day long. He does not look at pictures of breakfast. He does not hide magazines about breakfast under his mattress. But you are doing exactly that with sex. This obsession is the direct result of repression. Repression creates a dual personality. You show a smiling face to the world, a face of celibacy, a face of control, but in the dark, you are boiling. This boiling energy, if not transformed, turns into violence. Have you ever noticed? The societies that repress sex the most are the most violent societies. They are ready to kill. Why? Because the energy has to go somewhere. If it cannot become creation, it will become destruction. It is the same fire. If you block the chimney, the smoke will fill the house and suffocate you. I am offering you a chimney. I am offering you a way to let the smoke out, to let the fire burn cleanly so that it becomes light, not smoke. When you understand that lust is just life energy, you stop fighting. And when the fight stops, the energy is released. It becomes available for higher things. You have only a certain amount of energy. If 70% of it is used in fighting your own biology, you have only 30% left for living, for loving, for meditation. You are running on a low battery, and you wonder why you are tired. You wonder why you are depressed. You are tired because you are wrestling with yourself 24 hours a day. Stop the wrestling. Let the energy become one. When you are one, you have 100% energy available. And when 100% energy is available, it naturally rises. It hits the ceiling and breaks through the roof. It reaches the stars. This rising of energy is what the yogis call Kundalini. It is not some mystical serpent sleeping at the base of your spine. It is simply your unrepressed, undivided life force. When you are not fighting your sex center, the energy flows up to the heart center. It becomes love. When you are not fighting your heart, it flows up to the third eye. It becomes vision, clarity, insight. And when you are not fighting your vision, it flows to the crown. It becomes silence. It becomes connection with the cosmos. But it starts at the bottom. You cannot build the roof of the house before you build the foundation. The basement is as important as the penthouse. If the basement is weak, the penthouse will collapse. So, respect your basement, respect your biology. There is a beautiful story in the ancient scriptures about a great king who wanted to find God. He renounced his kingdom, his wives, his wealth. He went to the forest. He stood on one leg for years. He ate only dry leaves. He became a skeleton, and the gods became worried. This man is too serious, they said. He is forcing his way into heaven. Existence does not like force. Existence likes flow. You cannot rape the divine. You can only seduce the divine. You can only invite it with a loving heart, not a demanding ego. So the gods sent a beautiful celestial dancer to tempt the king. The moment the king saw her, his concentration broke. His years of standing on one leg, his years of eating dry leaves, all evaporated in a second. The lust he had pushed down exploded like a bomb. He fell. He made love to the dancer, and afterwards he cried. He thought, I have lost everything. I have to start again. But I say to you, he did not lose everything. He learned a great lesson. He learned that you cannot win against nature. You can only understand it. He learned that his asceticism was just ego in a different dress. I am the most holy man because I don't eat. That is pure ego. Real holiness is humble. It accepts. I am a man. I have hunger. I have desire. In that acceptance there is no fight, and where there is no fight, the dancer cannot tempt you. If the king had been truly aware, he would have looked at the dancer and smiled. He would have seen her beauty, appreciated it, and remained centered. He would not have needed to run towards her or away from her. He ran towards her because he had been running away from her inside his mind for years. Do not run. Stand still. Look at your reality. If you're tired of running, if you're tired of the cycle of repression and explosion, signify your readiness to stop. Click the like button. It is a digital nod, a way of saying, I am ready to stand still. When you stand still, you begin to see the mechanism of your own slavery. You see how the priests have tricked you. They told you, if you have desire, you are bad. And because you have desire, because you are alive, you felt bad. You felt guilty. And then they said, but don't worry. We have the solution. Confess to us. Give us your allegiance. We will intercede with God for you. Do you see the politics? They create the guilt to create the customer. If you are not guilty, you are not a customer for the church. A happy man, a man at ease with his body, does not need a priest. He might need a friend, he might need a lover, he might need a master to wake him up, but he does not need a priest to save him. He is already safe. He is already part of existence. You don't need saving, you need waking up. And what wakes you up? Life wakes you up. Love wakes you up. Pain wakes you up. Pleasure wakes you up. Every experience is a knock on your door. Wake up. Look at what is happening, but you are drugged. You are drugged by your beliefs. You look at a woman and you don't see the woman. You see a temptation. You see a danger, or you see an object. You don't see the human being. You don't see the light of God in her eyes. Drop the beliefs. Look with fresh eyes. This is what I call innocence. Innocence does not mean ignorance. Innocence means a mind without dust, a mirror that reflects what is. When you look with innocence, lust changes. It is no longer aggressive. It becomes appreciation. It becomes aesthetic. You can admire a beautiful body just as you admire a beautiful sunset. You don't want to eat the sunset, do you? You don't want to put the sunset in your pocket and take it home. You just enjoy it. You drink it with your eyes, and you are grateful. Why can't you look at a man or a woman with the same gratitude? Thank you, existence, for creating such beauty. In that gratitude, lust evaporates and love remains. But to reach this state, you have to pass through the fire. You cannot bypass it. You have to face your own raw desires. You have to acknowledge them. Yes, I have this animal inside me. And don't beat the animal. If you beat a dog, it becomes vicious. If you love the dog, it becomes a faithful friend. Your body is your faithful friend. It has served you since the moment of conception. It digests your food, it pumps your blood, it heals your wounds, all without you even asking. And how do you treat it? You insult it, you call it dirty. Apologize to your body right now. Close your eyes for a second and say to your body, I am sorry, I have been ungrateful. I have been listening to the poison of the priests. From now on, I will be your friend. See the change that happens in your chemistry when you befriend your body. The tension drops, the anxiety lessens. You feel a sudden rush of well-being. This is the beginning of Tantra. Tantra simply means the technique of expanding your consciousness through the acceptance of your energy. It is not about sex orgies, as the West thinks. It is about deep sensitivity. It is about eating an apple with such total awareness that the apple becomes the universe and you become the apple. It is about making love with such slowness, such reverence, that the act ceases to be physical and becomes spiritual. If you want to understand these techniques, if you want to know how to transform the sexual act into a meditation, we have detailed specific methods in our books. You can find them in the Store tab. These are not just books to read. They are manuals for a new way of living, a way that integrates the earth and the sky. Integration is the key word. You are not just earth, and you are not just sky. You are a horizon where earth and sky meet. If you only live in the sky, ideas, philosophies, prayers, you become dry. You lose your roots. You become like a plastic flower. If you only live in the earth, food, sex, money, you become heavy. You lose your wings. You become like a rock. Be a tree, roots deep in the rock, branches high in the wind. The deeper the roots, the higher the branches. If you want to reach God, you must send your roots down into the earth, down into sex, down into instinct. Do not be afraid of the dark soil. That is where the juice comes from. The lotus needs the mud. I repeat this because you forget it again and again. You want the lotus, but you hate the mud. You cannot have it both ways. Society wants you to be a lotus without mud. That is why everyone is plastic, everyone is fake. They are pretending to be floating above the earth, but they are starving for reality. Be real. To be real is to be holy. The word holy comes from the word whole. And whole implies that you include everything. Your anger, your greed, your lust, your love, your kindness, your cruelty, everything is accepted, understood, and put in its right place. When you arrange all the instruments of an orchestra, it becomes music. If you throw away the drums because they are too loud, the music lacks power. If you throw away the flute because it is too quiet, the music lacks delicacy. Your lust is the drum. Your love is the flute. You need both for the symphony of your soul. Keep the drum. Just learn how to play it in rhythm. Don't let the drum drown out the flute. That is the only discipline needed. Harmony, balance. And how does balance come? It comes through the witness, Sakshi. This is the ultimate secret. Whatever happens inside or outside, remember that you are the watcher. You are walking down the street. A beautiful woman passes by. A desire arises in the body. Watch it. Say to yourself, the body is feeling attraction. Do not say, I am bad. Do not say, I must follow her. Just say, attraction is happening. Suddenly you are separate. The body is there, the desire is there, and you are here, watching. In that gap between you and the desire, freedom is born. You are no longer a puppet pulled by strings. You have cut the strings. You can choose. Do I want to act on this, or do I just want to enjoy the feeling and let it pass? 99% of the time, you will just enjoy the feeling and let it pass. It is a beautiful breeze. It cools you, it refreshes you, and it moves on. You don't have to run after every breeze. But if you repress it, if you say, I must not feel this, you clench your teeth, you tighten your muscles. The breeze becomes a tornado trapped inside you. And later, it will come out as anger against your wife or your children or yourself. Do not create tornadoes. Be an open house. Let the winds blow through you. This openness is what I call faith. Not faith in a scripture, but faith in yourself. Faith that you are vast enough to contain all contradictions. You are vast. You are not small. The mind makes you small. The mind says, I am this name, this job, this body. But your consciousness is not small. It is infinite. It can hold the whole universe. Why are you afraid of a little lust? You who can hold the stars. It is a tiny ripple in your ocean. Let it be. When you become the ocean, the ripples don't disturb you. They add texture to your surface. If you are ready to expand, if you are ready to discover the ocean of your own being, consider joining our community by clicking the join button. It is a gathering of oceans. It is a place where we remind each other of our vastness. Let us go deeper into the nature of this fall that religion talks about. They say Adam fell from grace because he disobeyed. I say to you, disobedience is the first step of maturity. A child who always obeys is not a child, he is a robot. A child who says no is beginning to become an individual. Adam said no to the commandment. He chose risk over security. He chose the unknown over the known. The Garden of Eden was safe, but it was a prison. It was a golden cage. Adam chose to fly. Yes, there is danger in flying. You might fall. But there is also the possibility of soaring. By eating the fruit of knowledge, Adam accepted the challenge of becoming human. He accepted the challenge of sexuality, of death, of time. He stepped into the world of duality. And why? So that one day he could return to the oneness, not as an ignorant animal, but as an awakened Buddha. The journey is from unconscious oneness, animal, to conscious separation, human, to conscious oneness, divine. You are in the middle stage. You are the bridge, and it is painful to be a bridge. You are stretched between two worlds. The animal pulls you back, that is lust. The divine pulls you forward, that is prayer. And you are the tension in between. Don't try to destroy the animal. The animal gives you strength. The animal gives you roots. If you kill the animal, the bridge collapses. And don't ignore the divine. If you ignore the divine, the bridge leads nowhere. It is a bridge to nowhere. Use the animal to reach the divine. Ride the animal. In the East, you see pictures of gods riding on animals. Durga riding a tiger. Ganesh riding a mouse. What does it mean? It does not mean they are literally riding tigers. It is a symbol. It means they have tamed their animal nature. They are using the power of the tiger, lust, anger, to serve their divinity. They have not killed the tiger. A dead tiger is useless. A living tiger is a powerful vehicle. Be a rider. Don't be the tiger, and don't be the victim of the tiger. Be the master. And mastery comes through understanding. I cannot repeat this enough. Understanding is the only sword that cuts the knot. What is it that you need to understand about sex? Understand that it is the desire to merge. You are tired of being an island. You want to become part of the continent again. You want to melt. When you make love, for a moment, the boundaries melt. You don't know where you end and the other begins. That melting is what you are really craving. But sex is a temporary melting. It lasts for seconds, and then the coldness returns. Meditation is a permanent melting. When you sit in silence, you melt into the whole existence. The trees are you, the stars are you, the air is you. There is no boundary. Once you know the melting of meditation, the craving for sexual melting subsides. It does not disappear, but it loses its desperate urgency. You are no longer a beggar, you know a higher luxury. When you have tasted the nectar, you don't crave the muddy water. You can still drink the water if you are thirsty, but you are not attached to it. This is the transformation. From muddy water to nectar, from lust to love to prayer. Do not stop until you reach the nectar. Do not settle for less. You are born for the emperor's throne, but you are playing in the dust. Get up, shake off the dust, claim your kingdom. The kingdom is not far away, it is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. Even Jesus says this. But the priests shout so loud that you cannot hear the still small voice within. Turn down the volume of the world. Turn down the volume of the priests. Turn up the volume of your own heart. Listen to your biology. It is whispering truths to you. It is saying, I am energy. I am divine. Use me. Listen to your longing. It is saying, I want to go home. Your lust is just the first knock on the door of home. Don't be afraid of the knock. Open the door. But don't stop at the door. Keep walking. The inner palace has many rooms. Sex is just the porch. It is beautiful. But if you sleep on the porch, you miss the palace. Go in. Love is the living room. It is warmer, more comfortable. But go deeper. Prayer is the shrine in the center of the palace. That is where the master lives. When you reach the shrine, you realize that the porch, the living room, the shrine, it is all one house. It is all built of the same divine material. Then you can move freely. You can go to the porch and play. You can go to the living room and love. You can go to the shrine and pray. You are free. This freedom is what I call moksha, liberation, absolute freedom to be who you are. The liberated man is unpredictable. You cannot categorize him. He is not a saint in your traditional sense because he laughs, he loves, he enjoys. He is not a sinner because he is aware, he is compassionate, he is harmless. He is just himself. He has dropped the mask. Drop your mask. It is heavy, it is suffocating you. Take a deep breath and let it fall. Show your true face to the world. At first, you will be afraid. Will they accept me? It doesn't matter. If they don't accept you, it is their problem. It is their blindness. When you accept yourself, you don't need the acceptance of others. Their acceptance is a beggar's ball. Your self-acceptance is a king's treasure. And the amazing thing is, when you truly accept yourself, your lust, your love, your anger, your joy, others begin to accept you too. Because authenticity is magnetic. People are drawn to it like moths to a flame. They are tired of fakes. When they see a real human being, they fall in love. Be that real human being. Start today. Start now. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. The mind always says tomorrow. The heart always says now. Listen to the heart. Be in the now. Feel the energy now. Don't label it. Just feel it. It is vibrating. It is alive. It is God. If you are feeling this vibration, if you are feeling the call to be real, you can support this channel with a super thanks. It helps us reach more people who are ready to drop their masks. We are building a chain of awakened individuals around the globe. Be a link in that chain, a strong, shining, golden link. The world is dark. It needs your light, but your light cannot shine if it is covered by the blanket of guilt. Throw off the blanket, let your light shine. Remember, the darkness is not real, it is just the absence of light. Your guilt is not real, it is just the absence of understanding. Bring the understanding and the guilt is gone. Bring the light and the darkness is gone. It is simple. Truth is always simple. Only lies are complicated. So, keep it simple. Love yourself, love your body, watch your mind, and let the river flow. The river knows the way to the ocean. You don't need a map, you just need trust. Trust the river of life within you. And as you flow, you will see that the banks of the river, the duality, the good and bad, they pass by. You don't cling to them. You are moving towards the vastness. And one day, and that day can be today, the river falls into the ocean, and the drop becomes the ocean. Aham Brahmasmi, I am the universe, that is the destination. But do not hurry, enjoy the journey, enjoy the winding path, enjoy the rocks, enjoy the waterfalls. Even the turbulence is part of the joy. Lust is the turbulence, love is the flow, prayer is the merging. Be all three, be complete. To be complete is to be holy. The word health, the word whole, and the word holy, they all come from the same root. To be healthy means to be whole. To be holy means to be whole. And to be whole means nothing is excluded. You cannot be whole if you cut off your sexuality. It is like cutting off your legs and trying to run a marathon. You will only crawl. You will be crippled. And look at your saints, your so-called holy men. They are crippled. They cannot dance. They cannot laugh. Their faces are long, serious, dead. They look as if they are carrying the weight of the entire universe on their shoulders. I don't want you to be a saint like that. I want you to be alive. A truly holy man is not serious. He is playful. He knows that existence is a leela, a divine play. It is not a classroom. It is not a prison. It is a playground. And in a playground, you use all your energy. You run, you jump, you shout, you play. You don't sit in the corner worrying about whether your play is spiritual enough. The very act of playing is spiritual. When you make love, let it be a play. Don't make it a serious business. Don't make it a performance. In the West, sex has become a performance. You are worried about technique. You're worried about orgasm. You're worried about whether you are good at it. This is the influence of the machine age. You treat the body like a machine that needs to be operated efficiently. But the body is not a machine. It is a mystery. Drop the technique. Drop the how-to manuals. Love is not a technology. Love is a feeling. When you hold your beloved, forget everything you have read. Forget everything you have been told. Just be there. Let your hands move by themselves. Let your breath move by themselves. When you are spontaneous, you are in tune with God. God is spontaneous. He did not plan the trees. He did not hire an architect to design the mountains. It just happened. It exploded out of His joy. Your love life should be an explosion of joy, not a managed event. But to reach this spontaneity, you must drop the mind. The mind is the manager. The mind is the controller. The mind is always commenting. Do this, don't do that, move this way, move that way. Tell the mind to shut up. This is the hardest thing for modern man. The mind is chattering 24 hours a day, and it chatters the loudest during sex. Why? Because sex is the moment when the mind feels most threatened. Sex is irrational. The mind loves logic. Sex is wild. The mind loves order. So the mind tries to organize sex. It creates rules. It creates schedules. Saturday night is for sex. This is stupidity. Can you schedule love? Can you schedule a sneeze? I will sneeze on Saturday night at 9 p.m. It is impossible. And yet you try to schedule your desires. And when the desire doesn't come on schedule, you feel inadequate. Or when the desire comes on Tuesday morning when you are rushing to work, you suppress it. Live moment to moment. If the breeze comes, open the window. If the breeze doesn't come, wait. Don't force it. The man who forces himself is violent. Rape is not just forcing someone else. You can rape yourself. When you force yourself to be loving when you are not, you are raping your own soul. When you force yourself to smile when you are angry, you are doing violence to your own face. Be authentic. Authenticity is the only prayer that reaches the divine, because the divine knows only truth. It does not understand your lies. If you are angry, tell God, I am angry. If you are lustful, tell God, I am burning with lust. Do not hide it. In your honesty, you will find a bridge. If you are ready to walk this bridge of honesty, if you are tired of the hypocrisy of polite society, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are a community of the authentic. We are stripping away the masks one by one. Let us look deeper into why society is so afraid of lust. Why have all civilizations tried to control this one energy? Because sex is the wildest energy in you. It is the only energy that society cannot fully domesticate. They can control your work, they can control your money, they can control your thoughts through education, but your biology remains wild. When you are in passion, you are not a citizen of any country. You are not a Christian or a Hindu. You are pure nature. This scares the politicians. This scares the priests. They want you to be predictable. A man in love is unpredictable. He might do anything. He might leave his job. He might leave his religion. He might sacrifice everything for his beloved. Love is rebellious. That is why they crushed it. They created marriage to crush love. Marriage is an institution. Love is a wild flower. They put the flower in a pot, put it in a cage, and called it marriage. And then they wonder why the flower dies. I am not against marriage, but I am for love. If marriage grows out of love, good. But if love is sacrificed for marriage, that is a crime. And most of lust is just energy seeking love. But because you are not allowed to love freely, the energy becomes sour. It becomes pornographic. Pornography is the byproduct of a repressed society. In a primitive tribe where sex is natural and accepted, there is no pornography. Why would they look at pictures when they have the reality? You are looking at pictures because you are denied the reality. You are hungry and you are licking the menu instead of eating the food. Throw away the menu. Go to the kitchen. Life is the kitchen. But to enter the kitchen, you must be courageous. You must be willing to make mistakes. You must be willing to get burned. People are so afraid of pain that they avoid pleasure. They are so afraid of falling that they never dance. I say to you, fall, make mistakes, get your heart broken. It is better to have a broken heart than a closed heart. A broken heart is at least open. The cracks allow the light to enter. A closed heart is a tomb. Don't live in a tomb. Come out. Lazarus, come out. This is my call to you. You have been dead for too long. Your morality has killed you. Your respectability has killed you. Be a little disrespectful. Be a little rebellious. When you rebel against the false, you align with the true. And what is the truth of your being? It is that you are a reservoir of energy. This energy can be mud or it can be a lotus. The choice is yours. But remember, the lotus comes from the mud. It transforms the mud. It does not hate the mud. If you hate your sexuality, you will never become spiritual. You will remain stuck in the mud, fighting with it. Accept the mud. Be grateful for the mud. This is my raw material. Just as a sculptor needs a stone to create a statue, you need your biological instincts to create your consciousness. If you don't have anger, you cannot have compassion. Compassion is nothing but the energy of anger purified. If you don't have sex, you cannot have samadhi, enlightenment. Samadhi is nothing but the energy of sex released from the body and becoming universal. It is the same energy. Do not waste a single drop of it. This is the economy of the inner world. Nothing is to be wasted. Everything is to be recycled. You know about recycling waste in the outer world. I am teaching you how to recycle your inner waste, how to turn your garbage into gold. The method is simple: awareness. When you are angry, sit in your room, close the door, and watch the anger. Don't hit the pillow. That is childish. Just watch. Feel the heat in your chest. Feel the blood rushing to your hands. Feel the heartbeat. And just look at it as if you are a scientist observing an experiment. Ah, this is anger. This is how it feels. Don't say, I am angry. Say, anger is happening to me. Or even better, anger is passing through. In that moment of observation, you will see the anger changing. It loses its sharpness. It becomes a warm energy. You can use that energy to create, to paint, to dance, to work. The same with lust. When lust arises, don't run to the shower to cool it down. Don't distract yourself with television. Sit with it. It is a powerful fire. Feel the fire. Let it burn. But you remain the cool witness. The body is burning. I am cool. Maintain this duality. The body is the fire. The witness is the cool breeze. And suddenly, you will see the fire rising and becoming light. You will feel a sudden clarity in your head. The energy that was pulling you down to the genitals has moved up to the brain. You become sharper. You become more intelligent. This is the secret of brahmacharya, celibacy. It is not about not having sex. It is about using the sexual energy for intelligence. The real brahmachari is not the one who runs away from women. He is the one who lives with such awareness that his sexual energy is constantly turning into light. He glows. You can see the aura around him. He is not against sex. He has gone beyond it. You can only go beyond what you have understood. If you are finding this alchemy of energy fascinating, if you want to master the art of turning mud into gold, you can support our work. Click the Super Thanks button. It is a gesture of gratitude for the map we are providing, a map to your own treasure. Let us speak about the guilt that holds you back. Guilt is a parasite. It eats your soul. And who gave you this guilt? People who were themselves guilty. Your parents felt guilty about sex, so they made you feel guilty. It is a hereditary disease. It is passed down from generation to generation. Break the chain. You are the first generation that has the capacity to be free. Science has freed you from many fears. Psychology has freed you from many superstitions. Now spirituality must free you from the soul sickness of guilt. Look at a dog. Does he feel guilty? Look at a tree. Does it feel guilty for blooming? Guilt is a man-made invention. It is the method of the priest to exploit you. If you are happy, you don't go to the priest. You go to the priest only when you are sad, when you are afraid, when you feel you have done something wrong. So the priest has a vested interest in making you feel wrong. The more wrong you feel, the more business he has. I want to destroy this business. I want to put the priests out of work. I want you to be so happy, so guilt-free that temples become empty of beggars and full of dancers. God does not want your tears. He wants your laughter. Have you ever heard of a sad flower? Have you ever seen a depressed bird? Existence celebrates. Why are you mourning? You are mourning because you think you are a sinner. I tell you, you are not a sinner. You are a sleeper. And sleep is not a sin. It is just a state. You can wake up. The moment you wake up, the sin disappears. It was a nightmare. Imagine you are having a nightmare that you are killing someone, you are sweating, you are trembling, and then you wake up. Do you feel guilty? Do you go to the police station to confess? Officer, in my dream I killed a man. They will laugh at you. They will say, you are a fool. It was a dream. I am telling you, your lust, your anger, your greed, these are part of your spiritual sleep. Wake up, and you will see that they were just phantoms. When you are awake, there is only love. But how to wake up? You cannot just say, I want to wake up. You need a shock. You need an alarm clock. I am that alarm clock. My words are not meant to comfort you. They are meant to shake you, to disturb your sleep. Sometimes the alarm clock is annoying. You want to hit the snooze button. You want to turn me off and go back to your comfortable lies. Don't hit the snooze button. Open your eyes. The morning sun is waiting. The reality is far more beautiful than your dreams. In your dreams, you are chasing phantoms. In reality, you are the emperor. Why chase a shadow when you are the source of the light? Every time you feel desire, remember, this is a reminder that I am asleep. Let me use this moment to wake up. Use every opportunity. Use the marketplace. Use your office. Use your bedroom. Your bedroom can be your temple. In fact, it should be your temple. It is the place of life. Cleanse your bedroom of all the ugliness of the past. Enter it with reverence. When you approach your partner, approach as if you are approaching an altar. If you treat your wife like a goddess, she will become a goddess. If you treat your husband like a god, he will become a god. It is your projection that creates the reality. If you treat her like a sex object, she will become a nagging wife. She will take revenge. If you reduce her to a body, she will reduce you to a wallet. That is the bargain. But if you elevate her, if you worship the divinity in her, she will raise you to heights you cannot imagine. Love is a ladder. It starts in the mud, but it ends in heaven. Don't stay on the first rung. Climb. And don't kick the ladder away until you have reached the top. Many people try to kick the ladder too soon. They read a book about celibacy and they say, okay, no more sex. They suppress and they fall. They fall flat on their faces. Don't be in a hurry. Evolution takes time. Be patient with yourself. If you fall, don't condemn yourself. Get up, dust yourself off, laugh, and start climbing again. A sense of humor is essential for a seeker. If you cannot laugh at yourself, you have missed the point. The ego loves to be serious. The spirit loves to laugh. Look at my approach. I tell you jokes. Why? To destroy your seriousness, to relax your ego. When you laugh, your mind stops. For a split second, there is no thought. There is just the laughter. That moment of no thought is a glimpse of meditation. I want you to live your whole life as a laughter. Even your lust, laugh at it. Look at this funny monkey mind, wanting this, wanting that. Don't take it seriously. It is a game. When you laugh at the monkey becomes quiet. It knows it has been seen. If you fight the monkey, it becomes a gorilla. It fights back. Play with your energy. Be a playful consciousness. And in that playfulness, you will find that the separation between the sacred and the profane dissolves. The church and the pub are not enemies. They are just different places where people are searching for the same thing, intoxicant. In the pub, they seek the intoxicant of alcohol to forget themselves. In the church, they seek the intoxicant of God to find themselves. But the search is for something more than the mundane life. I am offering you the ultimate wine, the wine of awareness. Drink it deeply. Get drunk on the divine. When you are drunk on the divine, you don't need alcohol. You don't need drugs. You are naturally high. And in that high, lust is transformed. It becomes a subtle vibration of creativity. You begin to create. You may paint, you may sing, you may cook, you may garden. It doesn't matter what you do, but whatever you do will have a touch of grace. It will have your signature. The creative person is the sexual person transformed. All the great poets, all the great painters, they had tremendous sexual energy. But they didn't waste it in reproduction. They channeled it into creation. Freud calls it sublimation. I call it transformation. Sublimation has a sense of forcing. Transformation is natural. It happens on its own when you are aware. So the key, the master key, is awareness. I will keep repeating this until it sinks into your bones. There is no other way. There are no shortcuts. You have to do the work of watching, but it is a joyous work. It is not a drudgery. To discover yourself is the greatest adventure. Imagine you are an explorer in a dark continent and you have a lamp in your hand. That lamp is your awareness. You move deeper into the jungle of your unconscious. You see wild animals, lust, anger, jealousy. But because you have the lamp, they don't attack you. They step aside. The light protects you. Move deeper until you reach the very center of your being, the source of the river. There you will find silence. You will find peace. You will find that you are not the body, not the mind, but the eternal watcher. And once you have found that, the journey is complete. You have come home. If you are ready to pick up the lamp and start the exploration, consider joining our membership. It is a school of explorers. Click join. We are not just talking here. We are doing something. We are creating a field of energy, and now I want to address the specific fear of losing control. You are afraid that if you let go of your repression, you will lose control. Yes, you will lose the control of the ego, but you will gain the discipline of the whole. The stars don't have a police force to control them, yet they don't crash into each other. The blood in your body doesn't have a traffic light, yet it circulates perfectly. Existence is self-regulating. Trust that self-regulation. If you stop controlling your breath, you won't die. The breath will continue deeper and more natural. If you stop controlling your love, you won't become a rapist. You will become a lover. The fear that I am a monster inside is put there by society. You are not a monster. You are a god in disguise. Take off the disguise. It will feel naked at first. It will feel vulnerable. But vulnerability is strength. A rock is hard, but it is dead. A flower is vulnerable, but it is alive. Be a flower, open to the sun, open to the rain, open to the wind. And yes, sometimes a storm will come and crush the flower. So what? The flower lived totally. It danced with the wind. The rock never danced. It just sat there for 1,000,000 years, dead. It is better to live one moment of total intensity than 1,000 years of dull existence. Lust is intense. Use that intensity. Don't dilute it. When you feel desire, feel it 100%. Don't be lukewarm. Jesus says, I hate the lukewarm. Be hot or be cold, but don't be lukewarm. Lukewarm people are the most dangerous. They are neither here nor there. They are the zombies. Be alive. Burn your candle from both ends. But Osho, if I burn the candle from both ends, it will finish quickly. Yes, but it will give a tremendous light, and that light is worth more than a long, dark existence. Live dangerously, live totally. This is my message to you. And in this total living, you will find that the energy you called lust was just the fuel for your rocket. The rocket is destined for the stars. Don't cling to the launch pad. Let go. The countdown has begun. 10, 9, 8. Are you ready to fly? If you are, then drop the baggage of guilt. Drop the baggage of the past. You are light enough to fly. The only thing holding you down is your own mind, your own belief that you are heavy. You are not heavy. You are light. You are made of light. Physics tells you that matter is just condensed energy, light. You are light. Remember this. Repeat this to yourself. I am light. I am energy. I am divine. Don't just say it. Feel it. And when you feel it, where is the lust? Where is the problem? The darkness cannot exist in the presence of light. Bring the light in. And how do you bring the light in? By simply opening your eyes. Awareness is the light. You don't have to manufacture it. It is already there. You just have your eyes closed. Open your eyes, look at your lust, look at your anger, look at your life, and in that looking, everything changes. This is the miracle, this is the magic. You don't need to go to a magician. You are the magician. Your consciousness is the magic wand. Wave it over your life. Wave it over your sex life, and it becomes love. Wave it over your work, and it becomes worship. Wave it over your death, and it becomes liberation. You have the power. You have always had the power. Society made you forget it. I am here to remind you, I am not giving you anything new. I am just giving you back what is yours. Claim it. It is your birthright. To be a Buddha is your birthright. To be a Christ is your birthright. Don't settle for being a Christian or a Buddhist. Be a Christ. Be a Buddha. Why follow when you can be? Why be a photocopy when you can be the original? Be the original face, the face you had before you were born, the face you will have after you die. That face is not the face in the mirror. That is the mask. The original face is the witness behind the mask. Find that witness, and you have found God. And then you will laugh at the whole joke of lust versus spirituality. You will see it was a created conflict, a game, and you will laugh, and your laughter will echo in the cosmos. Join the laughter. Join the dance. Don't stand on the sidelines. Jump in. The water is wild, but it is refreshing. If you remain on the bank, you will stay dry, you will stay safe, but you will never know the mystery of the river. The river is calling you, your blood is calling you. Do you know that your blood has the same salinity as the ocean? You are a walking ocean. That is why when you stand before the sea, you feel a certain silence. It is a meeting of the inner ocean and the outer ocean. Lust is the tidal wave in your inner ocean. It is vast. It is powerful, and you are trying to stop it with a small spoon of morality. You are trying to empty the ocean with a teaspoon. It is impossible. You will only tire yourself. Drop the spoon. Learn to swim. To swim means to trust the water, to trust that the water will hold you up. If you fight the water, if you panic, you drown. If you relax, you float. This is the law of the water, and this is the law of life. Relax into your nature. When you are relaxed, a great transformation happens. The energy that was frantic, desperate, hungry, suddenly becomes calm. It is no longer lust in the ugly sense. It becomes vitality. It becomes charisma. Have you noticed that people who repress their sexuality lose their radiance? Their skin becomes dry. Their eyes lose the sparkle. They look like dried prunes. They have no juice. I want you to be juicy. I want you to be overflowing. When you are overflowing with life energy, you become a magnet. You attract everything: love, abundance, friendship, godliness. Because like attracts like. If you are dead, you attract death. If you are alive, you attract life. So the first step towards godliness is aliveness. Be fully alive in your senses. When you touch a fabric, feel the texture. Don't just touch it mechanically. Let your fingers be conscious. When you smell a rose, close your eyes and let the fragrance enter your very soul. When you listen to music, become the hearing. This sensitivity is the training ground for higher love. If you cannot enjoy a sunset, you cannot enjoy a woman or a man. If you cannot enjoy a cup of tea, you cannot enjoy God. God is the ultimate enjoyment. The Upanishads say, Raso Vaisa. God is juice. God is taste. Don't make God dry. Your churches are so dry. Your sermons are so dry. They are like dust in the mouth. Bring some wine into the church. I don't mean the alcohol wine. I mean the wine of ecstasy. Dance, sing. King David in the Bible danced before the Lord. He was naked and he danced. His wife was very embarrassed. She was a socialite, a moralist. She said, "You are a king. Behave like a king. Why are you dancing like a beggar?" And David said, "Before my God, I am neither king nor beggar. I am just a soul. Be like David. Dance your prayer." And when sex comes, let it be a dance too. Don't make it a drill. Don't make it a duty. I must satisfy my wife, or I must satisfy my husband. Duty is a four-letter word. Love is a four-letter word, but they are worlds apart. Duty kills love. Duty is heavy. Love is light. Do it because you enjoy it. Do it because it is a sharing of energy. And if you don't feel like it, say no with love. A loving no is better than a dutiful yes. Authenticity is the key. Now, let us look at the relationship between the mind and the sex center. The mind is always in the past or the future. It thinks about the last time, or it plans for the next time. It is never here. The sex center is always in the here and now. The body knows no past and no future. The body is always in the present tense. This is the conflict. Your mind is time traveling and your body is anchored in the now. You are stretched. When you bring your mind into the now, when you align it with the body, there is a sudden release of tension. That release is bliss. You have felt this bliss in orgasm. What happens in orgasm? For a split second, the mind stops time traveling. The shock of the energy is so much that the mind cannot think. It has to be here. That is why you love orgasm. Not for the physical sensation that is momentary, but for the peace of no mind that follows it. But you are foolish. You think the bliss came from the sex. No, the bliss came from the no mind. Sex was just a mechanism to knock out the mind for a second. Meditation is a way to reach that no mind without the sexuality. You can be in a state of orgasmic bliss just sitting under a tree. When the wind touches you, it is a lover. When the sun warms you, it is an embrace. You are making love to existence 24 hours a day. This is the state of the mystic. He is the ultimate lover. He does not need a specific person because he is in love with the whole. But to reach there, you must start where you are. Don't pretend to be a mystic if you are still hungry for a person. If you are hungry, eat. but eat intelligently. Most people eat like animals, gulping it down, not tasting. I say, taste your sexuality, savor it. Tantra says, don't rush to the end. The goal is not the release, the goal is the journey. Stay in the valley of excitement, don't rush to the peak. On the peak you fall. In the valley you can stay for hours. When you make love, slow down, move so slowly that it becomes a meditation. Look into the eyes of your partner, see the divine there. If you can see God in your partner will be transformed. You will be transformed. The bedroom will become a temple. This is the alchemy. You take the base metal, lust, and by adding the fire of awareness and the slowness of patience, you turn it into gold, love. If you are intrigued by this tantric approach, if you want to learn the specific methods of slowing down and transforming the energy, check our store. We have books entirely dedicated to the secrets of Tantra. These are ancient secrets forgotten by the modern world. Reclaim them. Now understand the phenomenon of fantasy. You fantasize because you are not satisfied with reality. You imagine a perfect lover because your real lover is human, flawed, sometimes smells, sometimes gets angry. The fantasy lover is perfect. She never complains, he never gets tired. But fantasy is dangerous. It drains your energy. It creates a gap between you and reality. When you come back to your real woman or man, you feel disappointed. You are not like the woman in my dream. Of course she is not. The woman in your dream is a ghost. She has no blood, no bones. Drop the ghosts. Love the real. The real is rough. The real is difficult. But the real is real. A real rock is better than a false diamond, because with the rock you can build a house. With the false diamond, you can only deceive yourself. Lust is often fueled by fantasy. Love is fueled by reality. Move from fantasy to reality. Look at your partner as they are. Accept their imperfections. In fact, love their imperfections. Their imperfections make them unique. If everyone were perfect, everyone would be the same, just like machines. Imperfection is the signature of life. Perfection is death. So, love the human being, warts and all. And when you love the human reality, lust loses its grip. Lust is always seeking more, better, different. Love is content with this. This is enough. That feeling of enoughness is the death of lust and the birth of contentment. And from contentment, prayer arises naturally. You don't have to force it. You simply look up at the sky and say, thank you, it is enough. But the mind is a beggar. It always says, more, give me more. If you have 1 million, it wants 10. If you have one woman, it wants a harem. Alexander the Great died at a young age. He conquered the known world, but was he happy? No. He died in misery. He wanted to conquer more, but there was no more world left to conquer. He cried because he had no more worlds to conquer. What a poverty. He was the emperor of the world, but a beggar in his soul. Don't be an Alexander, be a Diogenes. Diogenes was a beggar, naked, living in a barrel. But he was happier than Alexander. When Alexander met him, he asked, "Can I do anything for you?" Diogenes was sunbathing. He looked at the great emperor and said, "Yes, move a little to the side, you are blocking my sun." Alexander was shocked. No one spoke to him like that. He said, "If I were not Alexander, I would want to be Diogenes." Diogenes laughed and said, "If I were not Diogenes, I would also want to be Diogenes." That is contentment. I am who I am, and it is beautiful. Lust says, I want to be someone else. I want to be with someone else. Meditation says, I am enough. This shift from wanting to being is the whole path. And you can practice this shift in the midst of your sexual desire. When the desire comes, instead of running after the object, close your eyes and go into the subject. Who is desiring? Where is this heat coming from? Go to the source of the heat. You will be surprised. The source of the heat is the same source that beats your heart. It is the life force, prana. When you touch the source, the desire to go out vanishes. You are filled from within. This is what Jesus meant when he said to the woman at the well, "If you drink the water I give you, you will never thirst again." He was not talking about H2O. He was talking about the inner nectar. But to find the inner nectar, you have to dig deep. You cannot just scratch the surface, and digging is work. It requires persistence. Many people start, but they give up when they hit a rock. Oh, meditation is too hard, my mind is too busy. So what? The mind is meant to be busy. Let it be busy. You keep digging. Ignore the mind. The mind is like a barking dog. If you stop to argue with every barking dog, you will never reach your destination. Let the dog bark. The elephant walks on. Be the elephant, majestic, slow, unconcerned. Your consciousness is the elephant. Your lusts, your fears, your thoughts, they are just dogs barking at your heels. They cannot hurt you unless you give them attention. Attention is food. Whatever you pay attention to grows. If you pay attention to your lust, by fighting it or by indulging it, it grows. If you pay attention to your awareness grows. Shift the focus. It is a simple switch. Imagine you are in a dark room with a flashlight. You are shining the light on a garbage can, and you say, "This room is terrible. It is full of garbage. Move the flashlight. Shine it on the painting on the wall. Shine it on the flower in the vase." The room has both garbage and flowers. Your mind is the flashlight. Where are you pointing it? You have been pointing it at your sins, at your weaknesses, and so you feel weak. Point it at your strength. Point it at your silence. Even if you have only 1 second of silence in a day, focus on that 1 second. Cherish it. Water it, and soon that 1 second will become 2, then 10, then an hour. It grows. This is the law of growth. If you are ready to grow the flowers instead of the weeds, join our community. Click join. It is a garden of seekers. We help each other water the flowers. Let's talk about the dark night of the soul. There will be times when you feel stuck, when the lust seems overwhelming and the silence seems far away. This is natural. It is part of the rhythm. Even the sun has to set. When you are in the darkness, don't despair. The seed grows in the dark. The baby grows in the dark womb. Darkness is creative. Don't be afraid of your dark desires. They are just unformed energy. Sit with the darkness. Don't turn on the artificial lights of entertainment or distraction. Sit in the dark, and you will see that the darkness has a velvety quality. It is soothing. It is restful. Lust is a fire, but deep inside the fire, there is a dark, cool center. Every flame has a blue, cool center. Find that center, and you find it by going into the flame, not running away from it. Total acceptance is the fireproof suit. If you accept your lust totally, without a single shred of judgment, it cannot burn you. It becomes a warm glow. It becomes love. Love is just lust that has cooled down and become gentle. Lust is aggressive. Love is receptive. Lust grabs. Love holds. Lust says mine. Love says thine. Watch your language. Watch your inner dialogue. Are you grabbing or holding? Are you demanding or sharing? The shift from demanding to sharing is the sign of maturity. A child demands, "Give me milk, Give me toys. He is all taking. A mother gives. She shares her milk. She shares her love. Spiritual maturity means becoming a mother to the world. You give, you overflow. And the miracle is the more you give, the more you have. This is the mathematics of the divine. It is opposite to the mathematics of the world. In the world, if you give away your money, you have less. In the spirit, if you give away your love, you have more. If you keep it, it rots. So spend your love, spend your energy, don't hoard it. Many people hoard their sexual energy thinking they are becoming spiritual. I am saving my bindu, my semen. This is foolishness. Energy cannot be saved in a piggy bank. It must flow. If it doesn't flow as sex, let it flow as creativity, as work, as dance. If you block the flow, you become stagnant. You become a swamp. Mosquitoes breed in swamps. Neuroses breed in stagnant energy. Flow, be a river, not a pond. And the river ultimately flows into the ocean. That ocean is what I call God. Not a person, but a presence. A vast, infinite presence of consciousness. When your drop of energy falls into that ocean, you lose your identity, yes, but you gain the infinite. You are no longer Mr. Smith. You are the cosmos. Is it not a good bargain? To lose a tiny, miserable ego and gain the whole universe, but you are clutching your ego. You are clutching your small identity. This is me, my lust, my desires, my problems. You love your problems, because without them, who are you? If I take away all your problems, all your lust, all your guilt, you will feel empty. You will ask, who am I now? You are that emptiness, and that emptiness is not negative. It is the womb of existence. It is the shunyata, the void. But the void is full. It is full of potential. Don't be afraid of the emptiness. Lust is trying to fill the emptiness with a body. Love tries to fill the emptiness with a person. Prayer realizes that the emptiness is already full of God. So the journey is from trying to fill the hole to realizing there is no hole. You are whole. It is a subtle shift, but it changes everything. You stop begging. You become an emperor. I invite you to claim your empire. Support this channel with a super thanks if you are ready to stop begging and start ruling your own inner kingdom. Your support helps us spread this message of royalty to every beggar in the world. We are coming to the end of our time together, but not the end of the journey. The journey is eternal. You have walked with me through the mud of lust, through the garden of love, towards the sky of prayer. Don't forget the way. Whenever you get lost in the dark woods of desire, remember, the way out is not back. The way out is through. Go through it, experience it, understand it, and transcend it. Don't be a coward, be a warrior. The spiritual path is for the brave. It is for the gamblers who are willing to stake everything for the truth. Stake your lust, stake your ego, stake your life, and I promise you, what you win is worth 1,000 times more than what you lose. You lose your chains, you win your freedom. You lose your darkness, you win the light. You lose your death, you win eternal life. So look at your lust with new eyes today. Do not see it as a sin. See it as the raw fuel for your enlightenment. See it as the coal that hides the diamond. Do not throw away the coal. Press it. Press it with the intensity of your awareness. And one day, the coal will disappear and the diamond will shine. That diamond is you, the indestructible, luminous, eternal you. Wake up to it. The morning has come. The birds are singing. The sun is rising. How long will you sleep? Open your eyes. Jump into the river. The ocean is waiting.